Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Word Origins 26. Today we have word origin for two words, straight-laced and strait-jacket. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. You may also sometimes see variant spellings of straight-laced and strait-jacket with the word spelled S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. I think sometimes in American English we spell it with the full word straight, like S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. But you may see either spelling of either word. Okay. All right, let's continue. If someone is straight-laced, we say they have very strict morals, attitudes, etc. So that's the most common use we use today. The original meaning of straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, straight, meant tight and narrow. Things were tight and narrow. So if you remember, in former times, it was quite common for some people, especially women, to wear corsets to look thinner. In the 18th and 19th centuries, corsets were worn to emphasize an hourglass figure, perfect, kind of like that figure. Yeah, just like the timer, that's an hourglass. Okay, so you can make the connection here, because corsets, of course, use lace that you had to pull very, very tight. Sometimes you see this in the old cowboy movies, and you're kind of amazed, because it must have taken women a lot of time to get dressed. Often they used to have help or maids that were there like pulling. They were kind of like that. So now you get the idea of where they say straight-laced. Of course, this is in former times where people were more conservative, and so of course this is why it eventually had the meaning that we have today with it. So straight-laced also started to be used for people who are rigid in their beliefs and thinking, because it was around that time too. Thus, we have the meaning that we use today. So that's where it came from. Yeah, sometimes you often heard straight-laced and straight-jacket. Where did this straight come from? But that's what it actually came from. It came from an old meaning narrow and tight. And then the corsets used to be pulled narrow and tight. Okay, so let's continue. The original use of straight is why we also say straight-jacket. A straight-jacket is a jacket with very long arms that are tied behind one's back to restrain people who are out of control, often people with a mental problem, especially someone who might hurt himself or herself. And of course, we often see, magicians use it, and people try to pull tricks in it, like where they could, somebody could be covered with it and they could see if they could escape it. Like an escape artist will often use a straitjacket in, one of his tricks to try to get out of too. So it's very famous that way. But again, sometimes people might say, well, why do we call it straight? Why is it straight? This is what it came from, because the original meaning of straight had to do with tight and narrow, and it was pulled really, really tight and narrow. So anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.